owners in the region say the couple of days' notice they were given when restrictions were lifted there just wasn't enough to get their businesses back up and running as quickly as possible. Will you be making sure that won't happen in Melbourne?
Well, can I just say in relation to, I'm not here to have a quarrel with restaurant owners in regional Victoria, but the alternative would have been to say, well, I'm announcing today that you can open in a week. We said, well, I'm announcing today you can open at midnight the following night. So it's not the same as when you put restrictions on and we give as much notice as we possibly can. We hit those targets, and as we made very clear, when we got case numbers below 5 and we didn't have a mystery case, that's when we would be moving. I can't provide to regional restaurateurs a sense of when we would get to under 5 cases. The alternative would be to say, oh, well, we've reached the target, but you can't open for 3 or 4 days. We got them open as soon as we possibly could. And all the way through, we've tried to provide as much notice as we can, and that won't change.
Well, we're on regional Victoria.
Sorry, Rach, you go.
While we're on regional Victoria, yes. Religious gatherings, I think, are limited to 10 outdoors in regional Victoria.
Correct, plus the celebrant.
That compares with 20 indoors and 50 outdoors, as provided they're sort of appropriately spaced with hospitality venues.
Yes.
What's the reason for that?
It's very, very simple. Restaurants, cafes, bars, restaurants are licensed. They are regulated. They have a degree of formality around them that is vastly different. I think you'd also appreciate the notion of Victoria Police or an authorised officer going into a religious service and essentially interrupting that service to do a head count. They're just different.
Even if it's being held outdoors?
Oh, if it's outdoors, it's different, and that's why there's 10.
No, I think it's limited to 10 outdoors.
Yeah, that's right. And I've already made the point that if we can expand that, we're having a look at that. We kept it in line with the rest of the public gathering limits. So you'll notice that it's 10 for non-faith purposes. So we kept those. We kept those the same. But I think at the time, or in the days after the roadmap was released, I made a point because we'd had a bit of feedback from faith leaders, and it's been a tough year for them, very, very tough year, not being able to gather together and worship. We made it very clear that we'd have a close look at that. Outdoors is obviously much more easy than indoors, but the notion of having large services, and in the context of this virus, 20 people is a large group, in an environment that's 20 times more dangerous, that is inside, being 20 times more dangerous than outside, it's not time to do that yet, but we'll get to that point.
Stage 3 business grants you've paid out so far?
No, I don't, but I will find out for you.
And have sole trader grants opened up for applications yet? Or?
I understood so, yes. There's a very big team, and when I say big, we're not talking, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of people who are on the phones, answering questions, processing applications, getting that money out to people as quickly as possible. I've not received an update in recent days, but I'll chase one for you, Lundy.
And just on the